You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcast, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. On conversation number 43, we discuss how important it is to have integrity and good character. And we also dive into, the situation with Deion Sanders and Jackson State. So tap into the show. Also give a review. Tap in. Welcome to another conversation of We Invest Different Podcast. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And it's good to be back. Ready to have some good conversation. I'm feeling well today. It's a good day, a good morning. I'm going to speak life into existence. We're going to have a good conversation. How you doing today, King Victor?
And I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Over here on this computer, researching a few things. I had to empty out my drive, and I ran across this House on 38th Street document I got from a family member a while ago. And I'm just rereading it right now. I don't know why, but I just feel a yearning to reread it right now. So that's what I'm doing right when you called me. Right when I saw your text, rather, for the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said a documentary?
It's a document I got, and it's like a story. I read it when I first got it a while ago, but I just happened to be emptying out my drive, and it's just like a little story. So I'm rereading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The House on 38th Street.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. It kind of it's like set in the old days, and like a new couple is like, it's starting off with a new couple getting their first house together. That's how it started off. I don't want to say too much because I don't know if the person that wrote this doesn't want it disclosed, but that's about all I'm gonna say about it.
For sure.
But it's pretty cool, man. Just rereading it right now. But how about you, man? How you?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm feeling well. No complaints. No complaints, man. No complaints.
Right.
Just being positive, being grateful, and continuing to be consistent in that. So tapping into the topic today. I knew that when you sent me a message about, a topic concerning, Deion Sanders, I started to think about, character and integrity and how important it is, as us men to know what a stand-up guy is and what good character is, what principles are, what standards supposed to be.
Right.
So the reason I thought about that is because I feel like Prime is a good example, of a man. You know what I'm saying? He openly believes in God. He guides the children not just to be a good football player, but he drives the children to be great men, and I respect that. And I think he was bringing more so attention to the reason people was mad at him for leaving Jackson State, right?
Yeah, initially I couldn't really understand. Then I started looking. I was saying, okay, these are reasons y'all upset. But I ain't understand at first. Right. That's not to say I agree with their reasons, though. You feel me?
What did you end up looking when you looked it up? Like what made you? What did you see that made you, interested?
Interested in what?
Interested in like what was going on with Deion.
Oh, well, I had been following, him going to Jackson State since he got out there, and I was just, interested off the rip, because, I didn't expect anyone like Deion to, a player of that caliber to go to a HBCU. So I was just interested off the rip.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they won the championship, man. They won the championship. Well, I think they won the championship. I think they got one more to go or whatever, but he turned the school around, man, and he made positive changes. within the whole school system. So I feel like he should be, he should get his flowers. And I don't think that, none of his stuff should have been stolen, especially while they was on the field, playing the game,
Yeah.
and I also want to make another point, when you have a desire, to be a leader and to be a positive example, you know, for your family, for the community, or for whoever. Challenges are going to always arrive, and not only challenges in life, but I feel like certain people are challenges as well. And like it's always going to be adversity to try to come and take away, what you have. And I think a big part of him leaving was him sticking to his integrity because, why stay somewhere where you're not celebrated? Everything was going well, but, you know, I can tell that this was going to take a big turn, in the energy that he was going to have being on campus.
I got a question though.
What's up?
So you believe that he left because of his stuff getting stolen?
That's what I feel.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see that being the issue. But I just thought it was like more so, that was what he was gonna do anyway. I was thinking that maybe he entered into the HBCU not only to help, but maybe to also, get that chance to show what he can do so he could level up into another school.
Well, shoot, I mean, that could have been also a part of the plan as well.
Mhm.
I agree with that. If he felt that way, I agree with that also. I just feel that, you know, that situation that happened also had an effect on his, his removal.
Yeah, I could
You know?
definitely see that because I know if I got robbed and I'm doing all this, it's kind of like, dang, if they do this, what else would they do?
Right. Like, how did y'all allow this? Like, somebody, it could, that's what he was saying, at the press conference. Like, how could it have happened if everybody was doing their job? Like, somebody had to, like, tip off something,
Like
like,
almost like an inside job or something.
right, like, and it was during the whole game. So
Yeah,
it was timing. The timing was right and all of that.
yeah, yeah. That's toe down right there, bro. That's toe down. But I just, the one thing that I saw people being upset with, I saw an interview on CNN. I'm not sure the guy's name that was speaking. I think it was CNN. But anyway, he was basically saying like Dion made all these promises to, help the HBCU, this, that, and the third, and they saying he leaving too soon. So I'm like, what? I mean, from my perspective, it seemed like he done plenty. I mean, if that man want to go on and do better,
Man, he just spoiled them, bro. I understand. Like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
really came there and turned the whole thing up and just dipped out.
for sure.
Cause
But
it's
I
like, I
go ahead.
mean, it's up to them to uphold where he left, cause it's like, I mean, if it's that important for him to be there, then what did you really learn from him? Because he really was attempting to change the whole culture of the school community. Not like you said, not just the football players, but like from everybody, from the teachers to the security to everybody that works. You know what I'm saying? Just environment, period. So I feel like true, like he can move on. He did enough, and it's up to the rest of the people that's left at Jackson State to uphold. You know what I'm saying? What he started.
Right, and that's the major key, bro. That I feel ties into what we talk about, man. Because as a melanated community, I now say Jackson State, but this goes for melanated people all together.
Uh,
It's almost like they counting on this one man to do something when everybody could easily come together and have the same results.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like uphold that integrity.
Right. Don't put it off on one person. And it just take people of the HBCU that really care to come in and invest. And not even just financially, but support whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the underlying issue that I'm seeing. Melanated people not wanting to invest in the success, but want to participate and be proud of the success that they didn't even invest into.
Mm.
And then when the person that brought the success leaves, he's the bad guy.
Right, man.
That's toe down, bro.
Right. But
That's
I
toe
think it's
down, man.
all. It's definitely all. I like to get a deeper meaning of it all because it just brings my attention to the psychological aspect of how we view ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we don't feel like we can be great, man, and that's the problem.
Mm,
So when we see greatness, we want to attach ourselves to it because we don't want to hold ourselves accountable.
come on now.
And that's me being transparent because I've definitely been there. It's almost like, okay, me getting up, waking up in the morning and watching YouTube videos of the gurus and doing personal development. But then when I cut them off and I have to live my life, I don't actually practice the things that I'm learning from the gurus that I'm watching.
Mm. Why you think that is though?
Hmm?
Why you think that is?
Because everything is easily said and done.
Mm.
But honestly, man, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, you can change in the blink of an eye. Like it's really up to you. And I really started like analyzing, like, man, it's all about your desire for a thing. If you want it bad enough, you can change right now, bro. And you just have to want the change bad enough. And it's like only thing that's waiting to change is your mind. Like, cause if your mind change and you're really determined, all it takes is for you to discipline in every day. That's all it takes. And even if you fall short, you are building the foundation for the change. Like the change is already taking place in your mind, but during the discipline that you have every day, during your habits and your routines, it complements that change and it gives you productivity, in real time. So that's what I'm like. It is easily said and done, but it's all about the mindset. Like if I would, but that's what I'm doing now. I'm really being deliberate on my actions. You got to act on these things. So
Right.
I have to comprehend the information, write it down, and put it in my own words and what it means to me, and apply it where it need to be applied, and not just listening. You know what I'm saying? Because we can just listen all day long
Real
and
talk.
never get to the execution.
It's real. And I can definitely relate to that too. Cause uh I figured out, I ain't gonna say that I learned from somebody, but I figured out that I really need to quit smoking this nicotine vape. And what my struggle been with that, cuz.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm at the point now. Well, initially I was at the point where it's like I know I need to do this, so I'm gonna try to do it. And then I would go about it and then I would fail. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think it's that failure that kind of discourages me from continuing. You feel me?
yeah. Oh man, I feel you 100%.
Yeah. I think that's like a major part right there. And I just wanted to get your take on that. That failure kind of discouraging us.
Well, I think, like I said, man, it goes back to how you viewing it. I don't think we should view it as a failure, because this is a process. Like I said, if the change has already taken place in your mind, like you got to see yourself making progress before you make progress.
You got a what again?
See yourself making progress before you make progress. So like the small wins are very, very important and it
Right.
builds confidence. So like don't always applaud yourself for the grand scheme of things. Also applaud yourself for the small wins. Like I don't care if you discipline yourself not to smoke that vape for 5 minutes, celebrate that, but just be consistent. Just be consistent with that though, because I'm reading this new book, right? The Compound Effect, and I know we supposed to be reading Think and Grow Rich, and I need to get that copy from you. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
but I started reading The Compound Effect, and this book is very amazing because it really signifies the amazing magic behind consistency.
Mm.
Because it's not really the action or how much, it's really the consistency of what you're doing. Because okay, it gave examples in the book. One person, he started eating foods every day. One person started cutting calories little by little every day, and it compared them in the run of 6 months. They both didn't show no significant difference in their lifestyles. Now, add 6 to 8 more months, that's when the change starts to actually compound and you see the results. You will see that the small changes that the guy was doing in his calorie intake benefited him to have better health overall in the end versus the guy who started eating extra food that didn't show any effect in 6 months. When a year came, you seen that he gained about 30 more pounds.
Mm.
So even though like it's all about the small steps, like you can just eat an extra honey bun. You thinking this little small honey bun is not gonna affect your weight every day. But while you doing that consistently over time, that honey bun is adding you probably like 10 extra pounds.
Mm. Real
So it's
talk.
like that 5 minutes, right? That you're doing it, that 5 minutes that you put that vape down every day, that it's adding up every single time that you're doing it. So that's the compound effect. Now see how long you can discipline yourself for those 5 minutes for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
or however time you want to put it down. Like it's just all about consistency.
It's real talk, and that made me think about like sometimes when we set a goal, we may sometimes overshoot. Real talk, because I'm gonna tell you like what you saying is true because I tried it, and the time that I set for myself was an hour. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go without this vape for an hour.
Yeah,
Couldn't do it.
yeah,
So I said, okay, I really want to do this. I'm seeing that it's hard for me to do an hour. Let me dial it back. Let me try 45 minutes. You feel me?
yeah,
45 minutes I can work with right now. You know what I mean? 45 minutes I can do right now. Sometimes I end up folding, but I can do the 45. So I'm gonna sit right there for a while. You feel me? And
you know
then
what?
and then level it up to an hour and then go from there. You feel me? So I just wanted to point that out. Like sometimes we gotta dial back our goals and you know what they and make them what smart goals call realistic.
Facts, man. And two, a pointer for anybody that's trying to, break a habit. Like, cause we all got habits.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when you alternate, right? Like, man, for one of my habits, I just do push-ups when I have an urge.
I be noticing you do that too. I
Yeah,
be
bro.
noticing that.
And I do that too when I'm mad or upset.
Right.
So it's like, okay, now if you're doing 5 minutes without the vape, bro, how about take a walk?
Mm.
Go
Real
take,
talk.
you know what I'm saying? Take a walk, or like, okay, when you're putting the vape down, how about you go make some music?
Mm.
Boy, I guarantee you gonna go about an hour without doing that shit.
That's true. That's very true. And then my mind off of it. And like you said, it all in the mind.
You're gonna get lost in the sauce, man. And then because you're doing something that you already love, you gotta alternate it with something that you love too. Cause you already like the vape. So you just alternate it with something you like as well, but it's more beneficial to you.
Mm, that's good stuff. I like how we talk about habits, man. I want to ask you a question. What do you think would be a good way for people to identify what their bad habits are?
It depends on who you want to be, cause man, sometimes we don't even know a bad habit is a bad habit until we see a good example of a good habit.
Mm,
Cause it's like, okay, it's some people that was raised without no respect, right? Got no table manners, none of that stuff. And you'll look at them folks and be like, what's wrong with them?
yeah,
But it's normal for them though,
right.
because that's how they was raised. So it's really about how that individual. So once that individual see that the way they're doing things like isn't right, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like this is not normal. This is not normal. It's at that very moment when you see that something isn't right, then it opens the door, because it opens the doors for you to be like, ah man, like I think it's something different that I can be doing. So then after you notice that a bad habit is a bad habit, then you gotta decide, okay, what better what better can I do? That's a question. Like it's a process. I feel like it's a process that you do gotta talk yourself through.
Yeah.
It's a day-to-day process, because it's a growing process. And a lot of these habits that we have, we're very emotionally connected to it. And that's why it became a habit in the first place.
Oh man, hold on. What do you mean by being emotionally attached to a habit?
It feels good.
Mm,
Like your senses is all about your attachment to something. Your senses is what attaches us. Our senses is what attaches us to anything, right? Like
mm,
you experience anything through your senses. Your sight, when something is attractive to you, your sight. You know what I'm saying? Okay, when something feels good, you're being pleasured by your sense of touch. So it's like everything is all about your senses. So, man, what was the question you asked me?
um, I was asking you to explain that emotional attachment to the
Yeah,
habit.
yeah. So that's how it's created. That's how that emotional attachment is created you know, through us doing the habit, right? Whatever that habit is, we have what you call like dopamine.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So it's a real hormonal thing that happens to the body when we feel pleasure.
mm. And that explains to me what you said about swapping it out for something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That can give us that same dopamine or that rush of dopamine.
Yes.
That make plenty of sense, bro.
Yes, brother. Also, I do want to add too, when it comes to our diet, because I just implemented this. Like, bro, there's a natural sugar. We don't feel like that sugar bug that we be having. Like, ah man, I know I got a sugar bug. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about you, but
Shoot, yeah.
processed sugar, I tried to fast from processed sugar for 24 hours and I didn't do it. I won't say I couldn't do it. I didn't do it.
Mm, I got you.
Um, but a good pointer is that, like I said, you got to alternate. So when you get a processed sugar addiction, dates are very good natural sugar enhancers.
Mm,
Like it's natural, it's alkaline. So when you're making a smoothie, you literally don't have to put no juice, no outside processed juice or nothing in your stuff. You can literally put fruit, spring water, dates, you know what I'm saying? And it'll give your smoothie the sweetness of as if you got dang put some processed sugar in it. It tastes sweet.
mm,
Yeah, bro. And I give it to my son. Like when I put dates in his fruit smoothies. So that's just a partner with our diet as well. Like if you are addicted, or let's not use that term, like that verbiage is I do want you to feel some type of way, because we are addicted to some things. So
yeah, man. Go on,
you
tell it
need to
like it
feel,
is, man.
you know what I'm saying? You need to feel something. So
Yeah.
the stuff that we are addicted to, we have to substitute it, you know what I'm saying, with a better option. Cheese. I know that it's not many alternatives out there that'll give you the same, you know, feeling, but it can give you a similar feeling, you know what I'm saying? And it does take work to change your
Man, what's
appetite.
something? Hold on, time out, man. What's something that's something like cheese, man? One of God's greatest gifts to the planet, man.
Why you say that's a gift to the planet?
Hey, it's here.
Bro, that comes straight from another animal that you gotta kill to even get.
Nah,
Well, no, you don't. You
it
ain't gotta
still come.
kill.
It
You ain't gotta
still come.
kill. It
It
comes from
still
the milk.
it
But
still come from the planet though. That's what I'm saying.
everything that came from the planet is not good, bro.
That's true. But
So
it's still a gift, I believe.
I don't know if I mean you can misuse a gift.
Ah, that's a good point. Ah, that's a beautiful point.
So like,
Good
cause
talk.
cows are very beneficial cattle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can like, man, it's so much you can do. You know what I'm saying? Other than what's being done. Like,
Yeah, that don't mean we supposed to be eating what they produce like that. You got a
and
point.
it's not even. I won't even just say that. You know, because it's if you raise them right, and every now and then I feel like every now and then you can eat meat. But I feel like, man, we just became animals, right? We slay these animals. We put shoot them up with hormones. We make them grow faster. We not naturally raising them. We abusing them. So it's different, bro. I feel like if everything was done in moderation, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be such a problem. But because greed, it makes you mistreat. You know what I'm saying? Greed makes you mistreat, and it makes you do things to get over. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's what it's all
just
about.
like how they mass produce it.
Yeah,
There be
bro.
a lot of time with them bad methods of raising the livestock come from all that mass producing they got going on seemingly. And
I
then
got a
that's
question for you.
what's out.
So like, okay, the mass production of these animals and stuff like that. Do you feel like it would be a good idea, right? I'm gonna paint you a picture. Like, is this a good idea? Um, Now I think it'd be a good idea if they actually care for the animals, right? That's one thing. And at the rate that they produce would be good. We keep that rate of production going, natural rate of production, raising healthy animals and producing good meat. Um, Now that means sometimes meat won't be available in the stores. So that would decrease the amount of meat intake in the country, which would decrease the amount of cancer that's happening in the country, will decrease the amount of blood pressure, diabetes, all of this stuff in the blood. So like it'll change a whole lot. So not only will people be eating less meat, but they will also, when they do eat the meat, they'll be eating healthy meat.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but that's me. Cause you know me, I ain't really too particular about what I eat like that to the point where I'd be pissed off that it ain't no ground meat at the store or something.
Yeah,
I'd be cool. You know what I mean? But I know for most people, they'll be like, where the hell is the beef? You know, motherfuckers, I can imagine motherfuckers being in front of the grocery store with picket signs, bro.
bro, I see that. I see that too. I see
Yeah.
that too. But you know, like eventually, that's what I'm saying. Like you'll be given a better option.
All
Let's
right.
say, okay, well, really, bro, honestly, is eventually when the meat started coming to the shelves, the good meat started coming to the shelves, and they get used to the timing of it. Actually, the mind will change because they're no longer eating stressed out animal meat.
Yeah, that's a major key right there, too, man. That stressed out animal meat. But you right, that mind would start to change.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
And too, during the times that meat isn't on the shelves, you'll be marketing other healthier, alternatives. Like, okay, since you can't have beef or pork. Nah, we don't even want to talk about pork. I think pork gonna be discussion no matter what. But but instead of, okay, since beef is out right now, how about trying our fresh caught fish?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Just other options. And I just think, man, we still can be productive. Like the country still can make money. The economy still can go on positivity, bro. I think it's a myth to say that if things were good for everybody, then won't nobody win. I think that's a myth.
If things are good for everybody, won't nobody win.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's powerful because it's really psychological.
Mm.
Cause like look how weird that sounded, right?
I don't know, man. I've never heard that one before. So, well, I'm kind of still chewing on it because it's kind of like I can see that, but then it's like, I don't know. That kind of sucks at the same time.
Exactly. That's my point. That's how we
Yeah.
see it because how society has created this hierarchy of leveling up.
Mm.
Cause it's like that's what I'm saying. It's not good enough for everybody to be good. Somebody got to be gooder than somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's called that social Darwinism. Darwinism. I think.
Yeah.
It's like whoever come out on top, that's who gonna be on top.
And then we grinding to be on top. Everybody is grinding to be on top. Everybody.
Hmm. But I mean, I don't know. I think that might be somewhat of our nature, though, bro. Because when you think about animals, you know what I mean. That's pretty much how they move around. Like this lion gonna fight to be the top lion, and he gonna be the top lion. Once he the top lion, you feel me? And somebody got to lose. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like maybe that's just our natural way of being.
But hold on. I don't think the attitude has to be like that though. It's okay with having a leader. I think you can have a leader and everybody still be good.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just like I said, bro, it's the training that we've had. Like it's really just corruption. That's really what it is. It's just corruption. We just corrupt, bro. We just got a corrupt nature. And we'll really have to change our mind and spirit for the like to be different.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
so it's like I really do believe that we can all be good and still have a leader to guide us. It's just that it's gonna always be somebody there to, want to be on top of the leader, just like it happened in heaven. So that's what it always was. And I believe that even in the animals didn't always do that. The animals got the corruption too. So it's like, because back when, before sin hit the earth, I don't want to get too, away from the topic, but before sin hit the earth, animals didn't fight. Like, animals didn't fight. Animals just, like, didn't bite you and stuff like that. Like, Adam could play with the animals and all of that.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? But when corruption hit the earth, things became, like, feisty. Like,
mm, good
like,
word.
like easy, like evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I remember before we move on, I remember one time Bishop Rice was saying that before corruption hit the earth, thorns didn't even exist. Like on plants and stuff, like how
Mm,
you get stuck by a thorn.
yeah.
Like there wasn't no thorns. Like it wasn't no sticky brows and stuff like that.
Dang.
Like you literally like everything was literally perfect. It
That's
was
wild.
beautiful. It was beautiful. Not
That's
just
wild.
like not just like how it looked, but also like its love. Like it was alive in its love. Like nothing was built to harm you.
Right. That's wild to think about, man. Just a society like that, man. Goodness gracious of mine.
But
That's
that's how
wild.
it's gonna be in the new land, bro.
Mm.
It's how it's gonna be in a new land, bro. Like plants are alive, like how everything is alive here.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about everything being alive in like a spiritual sense. Like because everything is alive.
Right.
But like,
Without the corruption.
right,
Mm-hmm.
like without the flesh. Like it's just life everywhere. It's just all this life and all this energy and power and beauty. Like it's like unlimited. It's like unlimited amount of that though.
Right.
But bro, tapping into is anything else you want to tap into before we move on?
Oh no, I'm good, man.
Oh yeah. Before we move on, I did want to ask this question because I did write this down, you know, in my notes. I do want to get your take on it. Like, What's considered good character for you?
Good character. Treating people the way you want to be treated, man. That pretty much sum it up for me.
Mm, yeah. See, that's good character. I can tell that's really who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know what I'm saying. That's your definition. I feel that. Like, but could you give like a little bit of like, okay, treat others how you want to be treated, okay? Like give an example, like a real like a real time example. Like not no obvious, but like okay, like a real situation. Like
Um, I mean, only thing I can think of that come to my mind, because you really sending me down a deep thought thing, and you'll have to be quiet for a minute. But the first thing that comes to my mind is just like shooting somebody. You feel me? I don't want to get shot, so I ain't gonna shoot nobody. But then again, if it's a case where I need to protect myself, I will do it. And I would expect for somebody else to do the same to me if I was, intruding them. I can't try to attack somebody and then they shoot me and I say they a bad person. Cause I would do the same if somebody was attacking me.
that's a fact.
But
That's
that's
a
about as
fact.
deep as I can get just real fast. But what about you though? What do you consist? What do you consider good character?
I mean, I agree with what you were saying, but I'm thinking like okay, when I'm saying like get into detail, I'm feeling like okay, like for instance, um, you might date somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you might have dated somebody, and that person like going around degrading you, like demeaning your name, talking about you, telling lies on you,
Yeah.
but you keep it solid. Like you don't go around telling you like they business. You don't go around talking about them back. Like you ain't doing none of that. You really just keeping it moving and focusing on what you have going on. And you really just keeping your heart straight and
Mm.
keeping your focus off. You keeping your focus off of what that person got going on. Like I think that's good character because like it's multiple points. Like for one, you staying focused. Staying focused is a good character trait. Two, all while somebody is being wrong to you, you know what I'm saying? You're not letting that change who you are as a person. You continuing to be who you are, you know what I'm saying, and walking, you know, love and just leaving this stuff alone, like moving on, letting
Right.
stuff be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Like
a major key right there. Just it sounds almost like not stooping down to somebody level. That definitely is a good character trait. Like not letting somebody else's actions, impact how you go about things.
right, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that kind of brings it back home to the whole Deion Sanders thing. Look at how that happened, bro.
What you mean? Explain that.
Cause, bro, like he could have just wanted to smoke for whoever stole his stuff.
Mm.
Like he could have like I'm gonna do this to whoever I find who did. He could have went the violent route,
Yeah.
but he chose the professional route. He stuck to his integrity. He stuck to his character.
Very
All he
tough.
all he did was explain that he was upset and that he was disappointed at Jackson State or whatever or whomever that allowed it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was a disappointment or whatever, but he stuck to who he is as a person, as a man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's what I mean why it brought it back home. You know what I'm saying? Brought it full circle.
Very tough. Sure enough did.
But going on into our next segment of what you learned, is it anything that you learned lately, like from a video or reading something or somebody said?
I learned that if you're trying to start a business, I learned that you can if you already got a business, if you starting a business, and you looking for, contracts for what you do, a good way to do it is to list yourself as a vendor in your county and surrounding counties. But I know in some counties, like if your business address is like, let's say your business address is in Fulton County, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can they typically have programs that give you top priority to whatever work they need done because your business is in that community. So that's one thing that I learned, that they are vendor portals where the county can choose you for the work that they need done.
Wow. Hey, yeah, keep that because we definitely gonna need that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I was talking to the economic development, one of the commissioners for Clay County yesterday, and she was just dropping a whole lot of game on me, bro.
oh man, I like that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how you know how to network, and I know how like you're very tactical.
Mm-hmm. It's all God, bro.
I see that. I see it's very calculated.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, man. Something that I learned. Oh man, I said I wrote it down. CEO here, tapping in. I just wanted to remind all of our supporters and all of our listeners to share our podcast and encourage everybody to subscribe and get these great conversations. Back to the show. Financial Fashion Network is a platform we have created to host events and build community by creating content that promote personal development, financial awareness, and mental health. And it's our main goal to be a motivating force to everyone in the world. Now, if you want to support our brand, you can go to www.fnfstore.com and you can find our apparel and you can, support the brand. Take a look at our hoodies, take a look at our joggers. It's getting ready to get cold. So if you see something you like, you can actually get 10% off your first order by using discount code FNF10. Thank you. Mm, it was something about the brain though.
He's an on time God. Yes, he. On time God. Yes, he. He may not come when you want him, but he gonna be there right on time. Sit on that.
For sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, he.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's this doctor named Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza.
Very, very known in the psychology industry, quantum physics, talk about epigenetics. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, what I learned. Epigenetics. Epigenetics is like the study of, behavior that transfer through the genes.
Mm-hmm.
So he talked about how when a mother is pregnant, during her pregnancy, whatever environment that she's in, that baby is inside of her getting prepared to face that same environment.
Mm.
So the behavior, the survival behavior that the baby comes out in, that's the reason. Like that's the reason why the baby comes out and show certain behaviors and certain activity because it's being prepared to survive. So if during the pregnancy, the mother was in an environment where she had to fight. The baby is going to come out more prone to, aggression. Or if during the pregnancy the mother was facing abuse, the baby may come out a little timid.
Mm.
So that it's all about the body being built to survive the environment that it's born into. So that's why, babies can listen in the womb, things like that. So it's taking notes like you're building it to come into an environment.
Mm.
And that's how things can be transferred, you know, through the behavior, through the epigenetics, because it's taking it all in, the environment is being born into, and because all DNA is coded information through experiences that happened in the past, because you get 23 chromosomes from your mama, 23 chromosomes from your daddy, and that's information from both your parents. So some of that information that you get from your mother and your parents has to do with the experiences that your mother and your parents had.
Mm.
That's what creates us. We all get information from our ancestor, whoever we're related to, down, from generation to generation, and through epigenetics, like I said, the behavior. That's why a lot of us melanated people act the same.
Mm. And I think I got a case of that, bro. Let me tell you, tell me if you think this is the what's going on. Tell me if what you're talking about is what goes on with me. Cause I remember my whole life, bro. I couldn't stand taking a shower after somebody. You feel me?
Yeah,
And I just didn't like it being wet. And you feel
yeah,
me? And I've been like this since I was a kid. So then, like, I probably say about 4 years ago, I'm talking to my auntie, and she telling me about her dad, my granddaddy, which I never met in my life. He had went on to transition before I was born. Never met the man. And she was telling me how growing up, after they got out the shower, they had to wipe everything dry in the shower because he ain't like for the bathroom to be wet.
see what I'm saying?
You think that's the same thing?
That's I mean,
Ever?
that's obviously, the proof is in the pudding, bro.
Mm.
Because it's like, yes, I agree, because that's, like I said, that's proof. Because your mother, you said, who told you?
This was on my daddy's side. My auntie told me about my granddaddy though.
Well, your auntie, that's why your auntie was able to identify that in you,
Mm.
because that's literally your family. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's real. It's in our DNA. It's in our genes, and it's not far removed.
Right.
Like, nothing is far removed, bro. And like I said, that's why a lot of us melanated people act the same. Like, we have some of the same capabilities. We have some of the same connections in culture. All of us love music. All of us love spirituality. All of us love some form of something that connects
Mm-hmm.
us, that makes it coming between us.
Mm-hmm. They're like we like fruit. We like fruit drinks.
It's simple as that, bro.
Real talk. And them fact, bro. I'm telling you something that Pepsi really be doing on some marketing strategy stuff. Like they
Mm-hmm.
market fruit drinks to us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Cause they know we fool with them. They're like when that Sprite remix drop, but we be cutting up when that Sprite remix come out, bro.
Man, what?
For real.
You're right, man. Hey, cause we like that type of stuff, man. We like flashy. That's another thing that we have in common. We
Mm-hmm.
like we love to look good. That's that. And man, a lot of us wasn't even raised together, but we all feel that way. Like, a lot of us have that in common. We like to look good
Mm-hmm. For sure.
as a culture. Like, as a whole culture, we like to look good. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not that's not a coincidence, bro. That's DNA coding, bro.
Got to be. Cause it don't never stop. It done been like that for so long.
Right?
So
Generation,
long.
generation, 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 bro.
Real talk.
Got to be able to come. We have had to came from something great, because why you act like that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, why you act like that? You ain't got nothing. Like, you ain't got nothing to show for why you act like that. So why you act like that?
Right. It can't be explained.
It's
It's up
DNA,
outside
bro.
of what you saying.
It's coded. It's DNA coded. It's in your memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of this experiences, like I said, once you experience it in your senses, bro, when your body remembers, your subconscious remembers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, epigenetics. When your experiences are so big, like when you have like notable experiences in your life, like it affects your whole body. So yes, like all of that stuff's transferred. That's why, and I think that's why what the Indians went through and all of this stuff, being held captive and things like that. That's why all of this stuff, all this aggression, like we have aggression as well. Like we have that in common too. So it's like it's all about the transferring of coded information in our DNA, man. And I think it's very powerful. So that's what I learned.
Good stuff, man. Epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
But oh yeah, also man, leading on to our next segment, which is our final segment, the financial theme, the financial tip of the month. And as we always know, like I said last week, don't be afraid to ask for help or receive help, when it comes to finances. Like being transparent, I've recently and still is in situations where, help is needed. And sometimes we have to be okay with admitting that we need help. We have to be vulnerable. It's okay to be financially vulnerable. Like you can be financially vulnerable, but still have, financial literacy. It don't mean that you not intelligent. It don't mean that you're dumb with your money. It just means that you made it to a place right now that you have made a few bad choices. We all make mistakes. We all make bad decisions, but it's all a learning process. And in that learning process, you're going to need help. That's how you learn. That's how you learn sometimes that help helps you. Now, when you always need help, that's different. No, when you always need help, that's different. But when you start to learn from situations and you start to implement better information, you know, I think that's beneficial. So never be afraid to get help, whether if it's advice, whether it's asking for a loan from a person that could help you out in a way to where it can set you up to not come back for another loan. Like I'm not saying be a leech to nobody. I'm not saying misuse anybody. I'm just simply saying that use help if you have help. It's okay.
That's right. That's another tip that Miss Erica told me yesterday, the economic development commissioner.
Yes, sir.
You said don't be a lone wolf. Don't be a lone wolf. Get out here. Meet these people that can help you. You know what I mean? For real.
I'm trying to get there, bro.
Now, I see you working, man. I need to work on that for sure.
For real, man.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to go to some more networking events for real, bro.
Real talk. Real talk.
But
But in due time, in due time,
for sure. For
God in
sure.
control. When it's time, it's gonna happen. So it ain't nothing that we gotta force and push. I'm telling you, the opportunity just gonna lay right at our feet, bro. Cause we talking about it right now.
That's crazy you said that, man, because I was thinking about that this morning, like praying about that this morning. Like, don't worry because God is a part of us. And like if God can do anything, just have faith and trust and just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
It's get hard sometimes to keep doing what you're doing, but just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man. That's why what we talked about a while ago, that why. That's when that why got to kick in. You feel me? Remember you were telling me about that why?
Yeah.
You gotta remember that why.
Right, right. man. But I thank everybody for tuning in to conversation number 43. We were supposed to have our guests on this week, but it was some hiccups in, the scheduling. So now it has been rescheduled to next week, Friday, the 16th at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. And what I'm going to do is extract the audio from the Facebook Live and also have episode conversation number 44 dropped on audio as well. That's the goal. So you guys won't miss out on that. But I do still want everybody that can listen, tune in live to our live episode. And if you want to follow us, click the link tree in our Instagram at We Invest Different Pod on Instagram, and you can get access to everything that we have going on. You can also meet the co-hosts, me, myself, and King Victor. You can have access to what we have going on. So the store, all of that stuff, all of the above. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
See y'all next week for conversation number 44 on life insurance.
Jesus, peace.
Jesus, peace. Are you stressed, anxious, or depressed? Well, here's some good news for you. We started a mental health movement called MH10, and we encourage people to pay more attention to their mental health. So do this for us. Take at least 10 minutes per day to take a walk in nature, a jog, run, or just meditation to decrease your stress, because stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental illnesses in the body. So if you want to join the movement, you can also post on social media, post your 10 minutes by using hashtag MH10 or mental health 10 minutes.